radio show on WDRB Media and WGIV. And here's your host, Stevie G.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us today. Now, before I get into my special guest today, I had to tell you about the day this morning that I had. I almost went into a Taken Liam Neeson moment. You will not believe. I get home from an early meeting this morning. Get home, my wife is supposed to be leaving for work, gone already, and I get into the backyard, and guess what I see? I see all my patio chairs just thrown everywhere, and I'm thinking like, did somebody try to kidnap my wife or abduct my wife? So I'm thinking like, was this me? No, it wasn't me. Okay, so now I text my wife and she doesn't respond. Car is gone. And I'm thinking they took her car, put it in the trunk. Okay, so then I'm like, okay, I gotta drive to her job now. So I go to her job and she's like, working. And I'm like, knock on the door. What happened? Oh, a spider. A spider connected to the door, so she had to throw the chair so she can disconnect the spider web so she can get into the daggone garage. Okay, that's what happened today. So I was in Taken Liam Neeson mode because I was like about to go and find her and, do some stuff. So anyways, that was my day. So thanks to my wife for giving me a heart attack, by the way. All right, so before we get into the show, a word from Jennifer Masanji from Omni Wellness Center, where wellness awaits you. Experience one of the best massages with Jennifer Masanji, who's a licensed massage bodywork therapist. Give her a call at 704-451-3152. Again, that's 704-451-3152, and visit www.omniwellnesscenter.com. Okay, the guest I have today, you would not believe who I have, okay? First of all, was Realtor of the Year in 2006. And from what I remember, he probably doesn't remember that I remember this, probably tells one of the best stories about a pot-bellied pig. Okay, so we're going to get into that. Bill Gallagher from Superior School of Real Estate. Bill, how's it going?
It is going great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. So we're going to start off there. I don't know if you remember that story. You remember the pot-bellied pig story?
The pot-bellied pig. You'll have to refresh my memory.
Man, this was 2007. You were given a class about real estate, and you talked about somebody bringing a pot-bellied pig on a plane.
That is right. On U.S. Airways. U.S. Airways, a passenger bought a pot-bellied pig on the plane. Can you imagine? And lo and behold, there was a huge issue that the pig, unbelievably, basically ran up and down first class aisle. Got a little nervous, a little diarrhea. Now, they all cleaned it up. They were very good, clean it up. But how in the world did a pot-bellied pig get to fly first class U.S. Airways with a passenger? Is that the pot-bellied pig was a service animal. What do you mean service animal? What kind of service did the animal provide? And it was for companionship, a service or companion animal by law. If you have a letter from a medical doctor that says this animal is needed as a service or a assistive animal, by law, the animal is allowed to go with you wherever you want to go. So lo and behold, the passenger boarded the U.S. Airways plane, and the flight attendant basically saw the pig, and the person sat down first class, and the pig was in the aisle. Well, the flight attendant did not know what to do because they had never been trained by Jeff Turner, trainer at U.S. Airways, about a pot-bellied pig on a plane. So the flight attendant basically says, "Ma'am, I don't think there should be any pigs on this plane." And the passenger said, "Well, I'm going first class. I paid for a first class ticket, and this pig is needed to prevent depression. I sometimes get real depressed, and my doctor has written me a letter that this pig is needed for my depression, to prevent depression. So let me give you the letter, and you'll see in writing by my doctor, I need the pig to prevent depression." Well, the flight attendant, not being trained properly, said, "Let me call the legal department." So they called the legal department of the airline. You know how there's a phone by the door of the plane. So flight attendant got on the phone and said, "Legal, I'm a flight attendant. I got a passenger with a pot-bellied pig. She's got a letter saying the pig is needed to prevent depression. What do I do with the pig? Does the pig go in pet cargo with the other pig? The other pets, or does the pig go with the passenger first class? Help me. What do I do with this pig?" And the legal department said, "Do you have a letter from a medical doctor in writing the pig is needed for a certain cause? The answer is what? Yes, I have a letter in my hand. And legal department said, well, I just want to let you know, pigs do fly on U.S. Airways. So the pig did fly first class. The passenger did not have to buy a seat, but the pig basically was like in the aisle and in front of her. But the only problem was the descent to Seattle. The descent to Seattle, the pig got a little nervous, ran up and down first class, little diarrhea on first class, but they got it all cleaned up. So that was really good. So when you hear a pot-bellied pig could be allowed in all places of accommodation, especially public facilities, public buildings, or even an airline or restaurant, you will basically know by law, the animal is required because there was a letter in writing from a medical doctor. So just be very careful, y'all. It's not just a pig. It could be any animal. It could be any animal that the doctor has written the letter. And you've got to be careful, too, because one of the newest service animals is a little pony. It's a little miniature horse. So if you are at a restaurant or you're at a bar and you are gazing the crowd, and you know how you gaze the crowd at a bar, especially Lake Norman toward the Rusty Rudder, you know, as you gaze the crowd and the person walks in with a little pony. And one of the people at the bar said, oh, my, there is a pony in this bar. Look, there is a pony in this bar with a person. Look at the person, the pony, the person, and the pony. And basically the person at the bar said, don't you call that no pony. That is a miniature horse. By law, that is a miniature horse. And that miniature horse is the newest service animal in America today. Well, the person at the Rusty Rudder, after a couple of drinks, says, now tell me what? Tell me that again. A pony is a service animal. I've only seen dogs. I've never seen a pony. And first of all, it's not a pony, it's a miniature horse. So you need to call it what it is. And basically, if that person has a letter from a medical doctor that the miniature horse is allowed in all places of accommodation, and the person at the bar said, you got to be kidding. You got to be kidding. A miniature horse is allowed in this restaurant? Yes, it is. Well, why is it wearing tennis shoes? Well, the miniature horse is wearing tennis shoes because it provides traction for its little hooves. So its little hooves don't slip or slide on the slate or the hardwood floor, especially at a dancing place like Rusty Rudder. The little hooves don't slip and slide because the little tennis shoes provide traction, so the little miniature horse don't slip and slide, you know, throughout the restaurant. Well, I just cannot believe this. I think you're making this up. You're drunk as a skunk. You know, you're just making this up. I cannot believe by law, this is allowed under ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act. And the answer is what it is. You know, just go to Spirit School of Real Estate and talk to Bill Gallagher, and he'll tell you about service and companion animals from A to Z. And the person basically says, I don't believe you. So basically, when you tell somebody something and they don't believe you, ever had that, Stevie G? You tell somebody something and they do not believe you, and they look at you like you don't know what you are saying, and therefore you just have them call Bill Gallagher at Superior School of Real Estate. I'm going to have a toll-free number called 1-888-GET-HELP. So I'll try to get some help if I can to clear up any confusion that you might see. But can you see, Stevie G, especially at Lake Norman in one of those bars or restaurants? You know, here come a person and a pony. So you be careful the next time you and your wife are partying at a restaurant or partying in a bar. You explain to your wife full disclosure of why that animal is required. So again, I see this is a lot. It's funny. I think it's a lot of fun because especially if you don't know the law, ignorance is no excuse to the law, right, Stevie G?
That's right.
You got to know the law. So again, you knew this from my real estate class, didn't you? And how did you remember this law?
Man, I don't know. I just remember the pot-bellied pig.
The pot-bellied pig.
That's all I remember. And then I remember we talked about easements. Maybe that's what it was.
Oh, get excited about an easement, a right to use, somebody else's land. You go, Stevie G. I'm so proud of you.
I don't remember what it was that really, a lot of things stood out. A lot of things stood out in your class. I mean, that's just, the whole class was just like what you just did right now. Absolutely just entertaining. Learn, fun, everything. That's why you're the best at what you do.
Well, you are so wonderful to say that. You are a superior radio host, too, I'd like to say.
Okay,
but let me tell you, that is adult education today, Stevie G. It's not just give me the info, but you better have, especially at Lake Norman and Charlotte, you better have a little wit and wisdom with your presentation, and it better be engaging. You know what I'm saying? It better be engaging. We better be able to captivate your mind and captivate your creativity so that you can remember remember by storytelling. I think storytelling and analogy is a great way of learning. What do you think, Stevie G?
Absolutely.
And by the way, some millennials do not like the storytelling. I've got to be honest. Are you a millennial?
No.
Okay, good.
Because I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because I hate social media, but I do it just for business.
You do it for business,
But
for
I
money.
hate it.
I know. I hear what you're saying. Well, a lot of millennials say, teach the test, teach the test. Don't teach me nothing that's not on the test. Well, you can't teach a test. You got to teach real estate in terms of what concept, terms, vocabulary, stories. And so as an instructor who's 53 years old, losing hair and gaining weight, I hear the millennials say, don't you tell no story. Don't you tell no story about Bondalee, Ively, and Anne Marie. See, I was a broker in charge. See, I was a broker in charge for 10 years of a real estate office in Charlotte, and we were on Randolph Road between the Mental Health Center and the Center for Reproductive Medicine. That's a good location between mental health and the Center for Reproductive Medicine. And I will tell you, managing that office was like managing an adult daycare center. I have never in my life, Stevie G, had adults act the way they did. It was so amazing what they did to each other and what they also said to each other. And what they would do, they would eat each other's lunch out of the refrigerator. Now, that is rude to bring lunch to save money and put your lunch bag in the refrigerator, and somebody ate your lunch and put the bag back. Now, that's wrong. That is just wrong. And one of my agents, Scott Tyler, he had to put a Post-it note on his muffin, keep your teeth off, because I thought, what's the world come to? A Post-it note on a muffin in a refrigerator to keep your teeth off? Yeah, we had to do that because in my office, we just ate you put any food in the kitchen of a real estate office, it is gone real fast and real quick. And also another issue, too, with Bondalee, Ively, and Emery. Bondalee did everything wrong. How do y'all know somebody that does everything wrong? And she smelled radon gas at her first listing.
Who is Bondalee?
Bondalee was basically an individual who was in real estate school for a whole year. She wouldn't take the exam until she felt good. When she felt good, she took the test and passed. And lo and behold, she came back from her first listing near Park Road, Tyvola, and Fairview, and said her listing had the worst case of radon gas she had ever smelled. Well, it's in the real estate course that you learn, Stevie G, that radon gas, you cannot smell it, feel it, see it, touch it, or taste it. So I said, Vonda Lee, you can't smell no radon gas. And she said, well, something stank. Well, guess what it was? It was the old sewage treatment plant at Park Road Park. The city of Charlotte put Park Road Park on top of the old sewage treatment plant. And if you're from Charlotte, you know Park Road, Tyvola, and Fairview because there was a sewage treatment plant there for years. And when I was at Cotswold Elementary in the 3rd grade, we would take field trips on Friday to the sewage treatment plant. Wasn't that exciting in 3rd grade to go to the sewage treatment plant at Cotswold? And then we go to Hardee's for French fries and milkshake and cheeseburger afterwards. So if you ever ride by Park Road, Tyvola, and Fairview in Charlotte, especially coming Lake Norman to 77 to Tyvola to South Park, and you get stopped at that intersection at Park Road, Tyvola, and Fairview between 6 and 10, the odor might take you under. The odor just rises up in your car. And if you've got a buyer in the car, a client looking at Charlotte, all you can say is, welcome to Charlotte. I'm sorry, this is the Queen City, but welcome to Charlotte. And you know what they did? They had a daycare center, a La Petite daycare center on the corner for years. And they had to move it because the kids in the chain link fence couldn't take it no more at 5:30 in the evening with the stench. Let me out of here. And now they've got a car wash there. There's a car wash
right.
there. So, it's really fun to get your car washed and waxed there. And I like to go get my car washed and waxed because they ask you what scent you want sprayed in your car. And I like pina colada. I don't know about you, Stevie G, but I like pina colada. And so, you know what? I'm driving out of there with that pina colada scent. Then I smell, you know what? Oh, my heavenly day. Welcome to Charlotte. Here we go. So if you are from Charlotte, there's some stories here you think we make up, but we can't make up no stories in Charlotte because Charlotte is a fun town. And how long have you lived in the area, Stevie G?
I've been here 10 years, okay? So I haven't been here that long. Now, 10 years can be considered long compared to because people always move in here all the time. Now, you know the city of Charlotte. Are you from here, by the way?
I'm a native of Charlotte. I'm a native Charlottean. And when you say that, they always ask you, where do you live? Cotswold.
Okay.
Where do you go to church? Myers Park Presbyterian. And where did you go to school? Wake Forest. So you always they also have high school.
I don't know either of those things, but okay.
Well, so you got to know high school is West Charlotte. Southwest Charlotte, 1980 graduates. So high school is very important in Charlotte because people pride themselves. They're from Myers Park High, East High, Independence High, and I was West Charlotte Line. I was in the marching band. I was in the pit band, and also I love music. I played the trumpet, and I played in the carousel parade, and I played in the pit band, the marching band, all the bands. So I had a good time at West Charlotte, just marching away. So it was a fun time. And West Charlotte is a good school. In the West Charlotte Lions, we always said, "Go West Charlotte." Now let me ask you, Stevie G, where did you live before Charlotte?
D.C. Well, Alexander, Virginia, then Reston, Virginia, then here.
Okay, why did you move to Charlotte? You and your wife, were you married when you moved here?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all were married.
Yeah, we've been here married longer than we were back home. So
congratulations.
Thank you.
How's your marriage going?
Great.
Y'all work on it every night or every week? Do you? Oh, good, Stevie G. Good. Work on that marriage. Work on the marriage. See, that's Charlotte now. Work on the marriage. So that's good.
We came here. Housing market was good. 06.
Okay.
So 05, put an offer in.
Did you buy or did you rent?
Bought.
Stop.
Yes.
Stop. You bought. What were
here's-
interest rates then?
Paid cash, by the way.
Oh, we knew you from D.C. Yeah, cash. Uh-huh.
Well, here's the thing. Made a mistake because 07, 08, all the real estate agents came to me and said, hey, you need to invest in more property. So took out a line of credit. Now, guess what? Now I owe money back on the house again. But that's my story. Okay. So.
Well, why did you come to Charlotte?
Well.
Why? Answer the question.
Well, because I wanted to take advantage of paying down or getting a house.
Why Charlotte? That's not answering the question.
Okay.
Come on.
I'll tell you this.
All right.
I tried to stay a little closer to home.
Which means you stay toward Greensboro?
No. I
Or toward Richmond?
Try Richmond. See if you like to live in Richmond. No, thank you. I tried to stay in because I've been to Richmond a lot. Knew I didn't want to be in Richmond.
Why not?
Oh my gosh, I was there every summer in downtown Richmond, and the capital of Virginia is the armpit of America. It is absolute garbage. Now, so that's why I didn't want to pick Richmond. Then I tried to go to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and guess what? That was a mistake because
why?
Nothing to eat, no culture. I mean, nothing wrong with Quakers, but I mean, just nothing available for me.
Nothing available for you.
You coming from D.C. to Pennsylvania? I mean, that's a huge culture shock, almost like leaving the country. So I decided to come to Charlotte because I actually took a flight from Atlanta, which I almost went to Atlanta, by the way. And Atlanta's just as bad as D.C. traffic-wise. So went home, connecting flight. Friend of mine says, hey, check out Charlotte. You might like it.
A friend said, check out Charlotte.
And he was trying to move here.
Uh-huh.
Never did. But he said, check out Charlotte. You might like it. Because he said that they were trying to move here. And I said, okay, I'll go ahead and give it a shot. So I started to call. And I don't remember the real estate. That's terrible. I don't remember his name. Mm-hmm. But he said, come to Huntersville. You might like it. It's kind of similar to where Reston, where I came from, this and that.
Oh, a little suburb.
Little suburb area with a little bit of Burkdale Village, all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
stop. Yeah, so I said,
North
okay.
on I-77, yes.
So I said, I'll give it a shot. Saw the lake, by the way. I thought I'll be interested in that. And I do, and I love it. Paddleboard all the time. So I decided, okay, let's take a look. 05, saw a neighborhood, put an offer down. Got it. Built the house, by the way. 06, it was done. Moved down here in April.
Brand
06,
new home
brand
you
new
built.
home. Brand new home. That's what they were
wow,
doing back
did your
then.
wife design her dream home?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
But now we're designing it.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, which we're trying to make it nice.
Everything you want in a home now?
Yeah, we're trying to.
Good.
But now I want to sell it. I want to move somewhere else.
All right.
You know why? I can't stay in the HOA.
Well, also probably you got your 2-year tax-free gain too.
That's true, too.
That's it, because I know you're a money man. You like tax-free gain. You go, Stevie G. Yes.
So that's why we're here because, well, that was the reason why, because there wasn't really many places that were close to D.C., being easy accessible to family. So we decided Charlotte's nice, up and coming, a young city, young people here. So that's why we're here. And we've been here 10 years, met a lot of good friends. Didn't think I would be a radio host of a show. Didn't think I would meet somebody as funny as you. So that's why we're here, because of just It's just being nice, just being new, being fresh. So that's why we're here. But you've been here for forever.
53 years.
Forever.
53 years
Now,
and a half.
you've seen changes in Charlotte. You've seen the ups and you've seen the downs in 07, 08. How did that affect a lot of the real estate agents in the area? And how did that affect you, by the way?
Well, you think about 07, 08, 09 when the market was on a downtrend, when we had foreclosures. We had short sales where sellers owed more money than the home was worth, which created another type of education. A lot of brokers had never thought about listing a home subject to a short sale or selling property with a foreclosure. So what happened was back to school, ring the bell, back to school. We've got to learn how to handle foreclosures, all the aspects of terms of the procedure, the short sale, what is it, the policies, procedures, how do you handle it? And therefore, I will tell you, it's back to education. But you've got to be able to be flexible with your market. You basically, a lot of agents were used to the good days, ring the bell, fabulous days. But when you had distressed properties and you had sellers that had issues, you had to go back to education because you had to help them as well as help others. So I will tell you, in a down market, you've got to regroup and you've got to be able to go with the flow, go with the market. So those agents who would not change, who did not want to change their marketing ideas or the types of properties they were marketing, had to definitely think different. Well, I've got to change. Also, a lot of investors always say buy low and sell high. Well, if you're going through a down market, that's where investors love to buy low, fix up, rent out 5, 7, 10 years, and maybe do a 1031 tax-deferred exchange. So I will say when the market is down, there are opportunities. When the market is up, there's always opportunities. But the real estate brokers who are flexible, who can navigate through the good days and the bad days during the rough waves as well as the smooth waves, you're definitely going to do great in real estate. And also, if you look at Charlotte, Charlotte has definitely been on a growth spot mode for many, many years. And if you think about one area of the country where you can be a young professional like yourself and like others in their 20s and early 30s to come to a town and be able to start a business from scratch and to be an entrepreneurial person at heart, this is where to come. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we have the diversity. We have the people. We have the knowledge. We have the money. We have the infrastructure. We have what it takes to make a city grow. So anytime I hear people are negative about maybe some Charlotte issues, roads, school, and crime, then I've got to think of the positive issues in terms of the economic climate, the location, and I would just say the entrepreneurial spirit of we can start a business and grow it in Charlotte. You look at other towns and cities, you've got an infrastructure that does not sometimes accept growth or want growth or want to even encourage growth. So I'm just so proud that the Charlotte area, we can definitely grow small business. Yeah. And if you, Stevie G, want to start another business tomorrow or another business 2 years from now, Charlotte is where you can definitely grow your business. So again, I will say, everybody says 07, 08, 09 was a down market for real estate. Sales were slow, but we had to regroup. And those firms that did well were the ones that were flexible. Right. So my advice to real estate brokers, investors is you got to be flexible. You buy low, you sell high, but you got to be patient. I find that so many times people are too quick and too impatient. They make a decision too quick, too fast. So let's just look at all the apartments and the rentals in Charlotte. I mean, if you are an investor buying rental houses, you have seen that sometimes these residential rentals rent in 5 to 7 days, and rent is sky high compared to a couple of years ago. So guess what? Rental and property management is part of real estate as well as sales. Everybody says real estate is sales. Well, not really. It's new home sales, it's residential resales, it's commercial sales, it's shopping centers, it's property management. So when you say real estate in Charlotte, I wish we would think all the different types of real estate, not just sales, because property management is a big part of our real estate market in Charlotte, which has definitely done a great job in the last 3 to 5 years.
Yeah. Now we're going to talk about, because I got a question that came in from a listener. And he mentioned, or he had a question about something. He talked about, how today's millennials are now renting more. They're not wanting to buy. He and so he's trying to figure out, and this is Eric, by the way, Eric from South Point Realty. So he's trying to figure out how he could market himself to try to, I guess, entice a lot of these millennials, and why that trend is where these millennials are just renting versus having to buy these homes. Rates are low. Housing market or the prices here in Charlotte are still a good price. So what do you have if you have an opinion on that?
Well, having taught a course called Millennials Are Here, Are You Ready?, which is a course in continuing education that we analyze all the different generations, from the silent to the greatest, to the baby boomer, to the Gen Xer, to the millennial. And we have found with the millennial, their personality is if they can, first of all, find a job with more income and more money, they're out of here. They want mobile. They want to be mobile. The reason why is if they have a house and they get a higher paying job in another town, they might be stuck with the home, cannot get it sold. So therefore, from an income perspective and job, is if I can find another job in the next 2 or 3 years, I'm out of here. And therefore, a home versus renting might be one way to be able to move faster and more feasible. Another angle too with millennials, they are into lifestyle, enjoying their life, not cutting the grass on Sunday or Saturday, washing the dog, washing the car. They're into let's live and love life. Which, if you think about a millennial who's renting, it's a one phone call to the property manager. I have no heat. I have no air. I need this, I have a problem or repair need. One phone call, and there it's done. So it's the convenience and the ease. And also with some millennials, they have heard the stories about individuals in 07, 08, and 09 who bought basically homes with no money down, 100% financing. They heard the days of no doc loans, and those days basically, bottom line, were serious, because if you don't pay, you don't stay. And I think a lot of millennials, they do their research, they do their Google searches, and they do their research, and they found out what caused the mortgage meltdown in 07, 08, 09. And when you look at the different reasons, I think individuals bought homes with no skin in the game. 100% financing, no money down, low doc, no doc. And millennials are saying, hey, wait a minute, that's not for me. I want to be safe than sorry. And if I'm going to buy, I want it to be a great investment for me. Now, let's also be positive. A lot of the millennial females have more education than millennial males and make more money. So what you might be seeing is a millennial female can get the loan. Millennial female buys the 3-bedroom, 3 full bath home and rents out the other 2 bedrooms. Do not be shocked if the millennial is not savvy in terms of financing. And you might say, well, rental of rooms is never done in Charlotte. Go back to the 20s. Go back to the 30s. The Plaza Midwood, rental of rooms on a weekly basis was very popular. So we will see this probably trend happen, that a millennial female gets a loan, gets a home, and rents the home out to 2 individuals and the other 2 bedrooms with basically full baths. So keep that trend in mind.
Now, this is why I don't understand about renting, because I've never rented myself, but I have friends that do, and they're always constantly moving, and I can't stand moving. I don't want to have just because my rent goes up $50, $100, that now I'm gonna go try to find another place to go to match what I was paying before. Why would anybody want to do that versus having to set a place, be at a spot, and then just stay there consistently paying the same payment and just being content? Why would that, not be an option for somebody who is a millennial?
When you think about the millennial in terms of their energy and terms of their knowledge, is they don't want to sit still. I find this in adult education. The millennials are texting, they're Googling, they're busy. They do not want to sit still. They want to be doing something continuously. And also, they're thinking they want the flexibility in their life. They want to be able to move if they want to move. And therefore, the issue of I've lived in this house 32 years in Charlotte turns them off, because they're saying, hey, I could be moving every 2 to 3 years and find a bigger place, a better place, better location, but better job. But look at livability and lifestyle. I think that's what they're looking at too, is basically convenience. And look at the center city of Charlotte. Are y'all with me? All the new apartments that are being built, that lifestyle, walk to work, jog to work. I mean, that livability of job and lifestyle is critical right now. So I think the millennial doesn't want baggage. They want the ability to move every couple years if they wish to, and why not? Why not if it's a better place, better location, or better lifestyle for myself? So again, you will see that, and you're exactly right. Millennials do not want to stay put. They want to move. And just think about the positive aspect of is if it's ever changing. Nothing is static. It's always changing. So I think that's a positive and not a negative. But when you look at moving from one apartment to another apartment, it's still renting. It's still property management. It's not home ownership. But I'd like for them to understand if the tax law says you live in a principal residence 2 years or 2 out of the previous 5, you've got tax-free gains. That definitely needs to be reinforced to the millennial in terms of, in America, we work hard, we are taxed, but where else can you get tax-free money in America today by owning a home 2 years or more? I mean, that's education that I think is critical for everyone, not just for the millennials, but everyone needs to realize that aspect.
Awesome. Bill, I wish I could talk for another hour or another half hour. I wish I could, but we got to wrap this show up. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really, really appreciate it. So, and you're always free to come again. Absolutely.
Well, Stevie G, thank you for the invitation.
All right.
This has been fun.
So this is it for our show. Thanks for tuning in today. Continue to tune in every Tuesday at 11 a.m. And please remember to connect with me on social media by going to my website, getmoneypodcast.wordpress.com. I'm your host, Stevie G, and you've been listening to Get Money on WDRB Media and WGIV, the soul of Charlotte.